On the line right now, Lanny Davis, former Clinton White House counsel and author of Crisis Tales. He's a good friend of this program. Lanny, okay, I got to get into the Obamacare thing, and look, I don't want to beat you up because it's really not going well for the Democrats right now. But I am surprised that key Democratic leaders are doubling and tripling down on Obamacare. They're not understanding how flawed this law is. The president, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who leads the Democratic Party, the minority leader of the Senate, Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, they're all now doubling down and saying, look, we're going to be able to run on Obamacare in 2014. It's going to be fine. Do they really believe that, or are they just putting, lipstick on a pig?
First of all, when you start out any conversation with me by saying I don't want to beat up on you, everyone in your audience knows exactly the opposite.
That's not true.
But good morning. Are we doubling down? Yes, we're doubling down. We passed the legislation. We believe in it. We believed in it since Harry Truman. This has been the heart and soul of the Democratic Party, national health care, and we believe in this legislation. Do we think that it should be fixed? Most of us think it's messed up, that we went too far, too quick, and that we need to fix it and modify it and work with Republicans to do that. The president invited the Republicans to come up with at least one idea that they're willing to introduce that would provide national health care that's an alternative to this one, and we'll welcome an idea. Just one.
Yeah, well, I think there have been some proposals made.
Have they been introduced and passed?
They've passed the House. They're sitting on Harry Reid's desk.
They can't get through the Senate.
I think that what's passed the House is a repeal of Obamacare, and the American people want to know, well, what would you do about people with pre-existing conditions?
Lanny,
what would you do about someone who loses their job?
Every time we have a Republican on, they say we have passed that legislation. It's sitting on Harry Reid's desk. We'd love to take it to conference. Listen, we don't want to say they said it's okay and you say it's not. That's not interesting.
Look, Lanny, here's
true. Then we'd have something to debate.
Well,
I think there have been pieces of this proposed, but universal health care has never been proposed. In fact, we took this idea, came from the conservatives in the 90s, in all private insurance system. There's no government takeover here. It's all private insurance on an internet site called an exchange with competition. These are all conservative words. That's how we provide. And the individual mandate, by the way, was a conservative
from the
idea.
Heritage Foundation. We know, Lanny. You made this point last time.
But hold on, Lanny. Right now in America, you are losing ground in almost every demographic on Obamacare. The Democrats.
Hold on.
Let me finish, Lanny. Please let me finish.
Sorry.
Right now, there's a study out there from Harvard University which says that 52% of young people, 25 or younger, who can vote, so that's between 18 and 25, 52% of those people would say we probably should recall President Obama. He should not be president. If they had the chance to do it over again, they wouldn't vote for him. And that's all as a result of Obamacare.
No question that this has been done badly, doesn't work. The private sector, which has private exchanges, hasn't been used. Indeed, it's been rejected. I think they're now waking up to the fact that they need the private sector, that it can't be just government exchanges. They should be using some of these private exchanges. But look, we have to fix it. And I think one of the big mistakes we made is in trying to do too much too soon in all of the requirements added on to the basic elementals of insurance, and that's why people have lost their policies. President Clinton did say, and I think President Obama also said, that we ought to keep our promise that nobody should lose their policies and change the regulations so that happens. So there is really a lot of mess-ups here. That's why we're losing a lot of support. But are we doubling down on the concepts, meaning we're reaffirming our belief in national health care? Absolutely.
Lanny Davis, let's talk about the next president of the United States, Hillary Clinton. When your boss, Bill Clinton, was president, the last couple of years were there were a lot of distractions going on there with the whole Monica Lewinsky thing. Don't you think, considering the fact that Bill Clinton now could potentially be the husband of the first female president, that it's fair game to ask the former president, number one, have you had any extramarital relations since the Lewinsky affair? And number two, do you vow to stay true to Hillary so there are not further distractions while you are the first husband?
First of all, you're talking about a period in the Clinton presidency, and with all of that really terrible nightmare that happened that I was quite involved in defending President Clinton about, as you remember, he left office with 23 million new jobs and a 65%
Okay, and I'm sure that'll be his answer, but I'm asking you to get to the
answer to why it is completely irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
Well, I know Bill Clinton loves Hillary Clinton, and Hillary
That's not
Clinton
the question. Has he been faithful?
Most of your audience, a small slice that gets into this stuff that likes to do this
No,
stuff.
come on, Lanny, let's be real. If Bill Clinton is caught, Lanny, if Bill Clinton is caught in an extramarital affair while he is the husband of the president, it will distract the president, Hillary, and the entire nation for months on end.
Upstanding, and we'll be proud of him as the first.
You just kept talking while I was
the first guy or the first man.
All right,
Lanny,
if Bill Clinton, the first husband of the first female president, the first husband of the first female president is caught in an extramarital affair, it will drag this city to a halt, and it will absolutely distract President Hillary. Isn't this a relevant topic?
I don't think so, and I don't think your audience even wants to have this discussion.
Do you think Bill Clinton's answer will be that's irrelevant?
It's too serious a show to talk about something like this, but the answer is, you asked me a direct question, my answer is, I don't believe so. And by the way, I don't think it is first husband. We don't say first wife. It's first guy.
First guy. All right. and don't you think the American people want to know if the first guy is going to stay faithful to the president?
No, I don't. I think you guys and a few other people might, but just take a poll and you'll get an answer to the question. We want to know whether whoever is, by the way, I don't know whether Hillary Clinton's running for president yet. You've anointed her. We're talking about it theoretical. All I know is that she's one of the great people I've ever met, one of the best friends, one of the best public
just
servants.
Hypothetically,
That's
do you
what
think
I know. That's all I know.
Hypothetically, do you think if the story broke that Michelle Obama had an affair, do you think that would be a big story?
It's probably a big story on this show. I don't think it'd be relevant to
Lanny.
Oh
my gosh, Lanny.
The American people already spoke on this. You guys are just going to ignore that comment. Look at any poll. Look at the way that Bill Clinton left office with 65% approval rating, while we spent 2 years on this particular issue. And the answer is no, I don't think it's relevant if Michelle Obama has a private indiscretion.
Thank you, Lanny. Always good to have you. And may I just say, I am personally looking forward to Bill Clinton answering that question with, oh, that's irrelevant.
You'll be asking it. Not many other people will be.
640. That's fine. I love the